How is everybody doing today? I am going to give you guys an update on Ricky Pearsall. He was shot yesterday. Hold on. And I talked about it yesterday, but anyway, so I just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on with this situation that happened yesterday. Give me a second, let me pull it up. Okay, I need you guys to listen closely to what they're talking about. And then I'm going to read to you guys the other update that I have about the situation. I'll let you guys listen to it. I'm not gonna show the video because I'm going straight to YouTube. So yeah.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm joined by our Mayor London Reed and our District Attorney Brooke Jenkins, and I'm Police Chief Bill Scott of the San Francisco Police Department. We're here to give you all an update on a shooting that occurred today at about 3:37 p.m. involving San Francisco 49ers player Ricky
Hello,
Pearsall.
Jordan.
This afternoon, at about 3:37 p.m., Mr. Ricky Pearsall was in front of 77 Geary Street, about 20 yards from Grant Street in San Francisco. He was walking along when a suspect approached him and attempted to commit an armed robbery using a gun. A struggle between Mr. Pearsall and the suspect ensued, and the suspect's gunfire from the suspect's gun struck both Mr. Pearsall and the subject. Both were transported to San Francisco General Hospital.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Police officers assigned to the Union Square
I'm doing this real quick and I'll be there in a minute.
Responded almost immediately and arrested the subject as he tried to run away eastbound from the crime scene. The suspect has been identified as a 17-year-old male who resides in Tracy, California. Thankfully, Mr. Pearsall is in stable condition. Although the subject is in custody, this still is an active investigation. This kind of violence is simply unacceptable in our city. And we will do everything in our power to work with District Attorney Brooke Jenkins to ensure that justice is served in this matter. As I close, I'd like to thank our hard-working officers who were deployed in Union Square for their immediate response and for arresting the suspect before he could run away. I'd also like to thank the officers for rendering immediate aid to both parties involved in this incident. And now, Mayor London Reed.
This was a terrible and rare incident in Union Square, and our thoughts are with Ricky Pearsall and his family. He has a bright future, and I look forward to seeing him recover and get back on the field. We are grateful to our staff here at San Francisco General, our first responders, including the San Francisco Fire Department, as well as our police officers who were out on Union Square, who rendered aid right away. Right now, he is in stable condition. I'm also grateful for the quick action of our police officers who immediately, within a minute, responded to the situation, apprehended.
Okay, so I'm going to show you guys who I'm talking about right now. This is the guy. Right there. He's from the 49ers, and he's the wide receiver, okay? So let me go ahead and go on and play.
The suspect. Their work ensures that people know that if they come to San Francisco to commit crimes, they will be arrested. I'm confident that our district attorney, Brooke Jenkins, will take the necessary action to prosecute this case. This is how we hold people accountable in San Francisco. Robberies and any violence like this will not be tolerated in our city. We know San Francisco has the lowest violent crime rate than most major cities in this country. But statistics don't matter. When incidents like this occur, what matters is supporting the victim and holding those accountable who break our laws and endanger the lives of others. Our focus will be on the continuing recovery of Ricky and keeping our city safe, and our thoughts continue to be with him and his family at this time. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to our District Attorney, Brooke Jenkins.
And real quick, it was a 17-year-old who did this. A 17-year-old who is the suspect on the shooting of Ricky.
Thank you, Mayor and Chief Scott.
And of course, they can't say his name at this time because he is considered under, he's not an adult, okay?
I too want to express my thoughts and prayers are with Mr. Pearsall and his family during what I know has to be a very traumatic time. Many people may have questions about where things will go from here. As you heard just a moment ago, there was an arrest by the San Francisco Police Department in connection with this case. They continue to investigate this matter and gather additional evidence so that they can hand the case over to my office for review. We expect to
Yes,
make a
I'm
charging
coming.
decision, by the middle of next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Given that the suspect is a juvenile, at this time, those charges will be filed in the juvenile court as we continue to review the evidence to figure out where we go from there. But at this time, that is how this case will.
In my opinion, I don't agree with them. Okay, I don't agree with them as far as charging him as a juvenile because he did an adult thing. He should be charged as an adult. Sorry to say. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so let me hold on 1 second. Okay, so these are the questions that they're going to have for them. They're not getting any information, but I'm gonna read to you guys what information I have. Come on, hold on.
Pulling in. You're weak.
I want to express my thoughts and prayers are with Mr. Pearsall and his family during what I know has to be a very traumatic time. Many people may have questions about where things will go from here. As you heard just a moment ago, there was an arrest by the San Francisco Police Department in connection with this case. They continue to investigate this matter and gather additional evidence so that they can hand the case over to my office for review. We expect to make a charging decision by the middle of next week, either Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Given that the suspect is a juvenile, at this time, those charges will be filed in the juvenile court as we continue to review the evidence to figure out where we go from there. But at this time, that is how this case will proceed. It should be clear, one, that the police department in this city will do its job to make sure that those who are committing any crime, let alone a crime like this, are caught. And I also want to make it clear that when that happens,
I'm glad they caught him quick.
over, that there will be accountability for those who commit these types of acts in San Francisco. We are not a city that will be tolerant of this type of conduct. And so I look forward to continuing to work with the police department. I thank them for their swift action, and I will continue to work to support the mayor in our efforts together to collectively make San Francisco as safe as it should be. This is a setback, but we will continue to push forward to make sure that we minimize these types of events in our city. Thank you.
You guys, we can take a couple questions. I want to do it nice and orderly here. There's a lot that the chief and the DA are not going to be talking about because this is an open criminal investigation. It's incredibly active right now. So if anybody has any questions, let's start. Is there any indication that Ricky was targeted because of who he is as a football player?
No, there is no indication that he was targeted because he's a football player. At this point, we believe that this was an attempted robbery, and we're pretty confident about that.
Do you know what they were trying to steal from me?
Well, we're not going to release that at this time. Information is still flowing in. We're interviewing the officers. We have to interview.
So yesterday I read to you guys that it was a Rolex. Okay, I'm just going to say allegedly now because it's not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it was a Rolex. But, you know, my thoughts, my opinion on it.
Mr. Pearsall, of course, he's receiving medical care right now. So when we put information out, we want to make sure it's 100% accurate. Although we have a good idea, we're not ready to release that at this time.
He was described as stable. Can you shed any more light on that? Is this a life-threatening situation?
Well, that's all I can say at this point because of HIPAA rules. He is stable, and that's what we've been advised by the medical team, and that's all we can put out at this point.
Yeah. Let's go. You and then Zach.
We know there's only one gun in this situation,
Yes, we believe it was only one gun, and that gun has been recovered.
and it's suspects.
It was a suspect.
So it is him, the 17-year-old they're talking about.
Other people involved in this?
right now, suspect is acting alone, but as I said, this is an active investigation, so we have a lot of work to do. There are a lot of cameras in Union Square, so we're pulling video footage to confirm what we believe we know at this
I'm
point.
so glad they
But
got
again,
cameras
if we
over
let
there.
Any information out, we want to make sure it's as accurate as we could be about the information. But right now, we believe it was one lone person. That may change as we get video evidence. Well, he's a juvenile. He's a juvenile, so that's about as much as I can disclose at this point.
Can you tell us the condition of the suspect and also how
He acted as an adult. He should get charged. You know, they should go ahead and tell us who he is.
He is stable as well, and he was during the struggle. And that's about as much as I can
That's
say
my
right now.
opinion
And,
on
you know,
it.
We do have additional details, but we are not ready to put them out at this time. We still have some investigation to do, and we need to confirm some things.
how many times he was shot?
Not at this time.
Hey, Bronze, how are you? Did you hear about Ricky from the 49ers? He got shot yesterday
We need to confirm exactly how, and
at about
there's,
3:37
evidence that we
p.m.
collected, and there will probably be additional
their
evidence. So
time.
we will, as information is available, when the district attorney, because once she gets this case, we want to make sure we protect the information so her prosecution can be, we can hold people accountable. So we're going to work with the district attorney in terms of what information can be released.
Was Ricky able to provide a statement in the interview?
Well, I can say this: he was talking.
He's talking.
and that's a good
Ricky
thing.
is talking,
He
you
was
guys.
stable.
That's good
We still
news.
need to go back and confirm some things. So there's more to do.
But
on
he
that
is
case.
in critical condition. But he's
Can't disclose
talking.
that at this point.
Thank God.
I know there's been a surge in police in that area. Was this for the hooligans or is this part of that surge of police for the Union Square area?
They got him quick, man. I'm so glad they got him so
Officers in
quickly.
Union Square for quite some time, and we will continue to do that. As a matter of fact, usually when things like this happen,
He's
people get
a
very
17-year-old
excited.
boy. They don't have any more information other than that.
So we will increase that deployment, and we were going to do that.
As of right now, they're,
But we're gonna
you
move
know,
that up to make sure that,
showing this
that
or
thing,
taking care of this as a
we can have
juvenile,
help in every
because
ditch
he
of
is a
every
juvenile.
corner
He's
of the city.
17.
We're gonna do our best to
Over here, you're
get everything
17. You're an adult.
The key is
So
not only was our Union Square detail, we also had other officers patrolling the area, so that is why that response was so quick.
Yes, one more question.
Do you have extra officers here?
and I feel like if he did an adult, you know,
We have officers
he
here
did
right
something
now.
an
It's an
adult
active
would do,
investigation, and we wanna make sure
he
has
should be
what
charged as an
needs.
adult. My
There are other
opinion,
officers
my
here,
thoughts
other
on that.
incidents that have happened where officers are investigating other cases, but we are here to support him as well as our other victims that are here. So you see quite a few officers here, but you know, we are here for everybody.
All right, last one.
Mayor, you mentioned that this is a setback. How much was that angry about San Francisco, time, and things that it is?
All right.
Yeah, I would just say that it is very rare for something like this to happen in Union Square. And also, as what was mentioned earlier, we have had an increase in officer deployment, specifically covering the Union Square area for the past couple of years. And so, unfortunately,
Okay, so let me read this one. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Give me a second. This is not it. There we go. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. This is the information I have, CNN. Okay, this is what I'm getting right here. San Francisco 49er wide receiver Ricky Pearsall was shot in the chest in an attempt robbery in San Francisco on Saturday afternoon, the NFL team said in a statement. Pearsall is in serious but stable condition. The 49ers confirmed. The 49ers confirmed. A 17-year-old boy attempted to rob Pearsall at gunpoint as he was walking alone at around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. So that would be 5:30 p.m. my time and 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. When an altercation broke out between the two, resulting in both of them suffering injuries, according to the San Francisco Police Department. Gunfire from the suspect's gun struck both Mr. Pearsall and the suspect. San Francisco Police Chief William Scott said in a Saturday news conference, adding multiple shots were fired. So it's more than one shot that got, that means that both of them were shot by a bullet, because since it was more than one. Charges against the suspect will be filed in juvenile court. San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins said at the news conference, a charging decision will be made by Tuesday or Wednesday, Jenkins said. Let's see. Given that the suspect is a juvenile at this time, those charges will be filed in juvenile court as we continue to review the evidence of the, evidence to figure out where we go from here, Jenkins said. Officers rendered aid to Pearsall and the suspect and transported them to the hospital for treatment, the release said. Police have not announced a possible motive for the shooting, but there is no indication Pearsall was targeted because he was a football player, Scott said. Scott said the department believes that this was an attempted robbery, that we're pretty confident about that. The chief said it appears the suspect was acting alone. Only one gun was involved in the shooting and it has been recovered, Scott said. Excuse me. It's unclear how many times Pearsall was shot or what the suspect was attempting to steal. Police are pulling video footage as they continue to investigate. Pearsall was stable enough to talk to the police, but Scott said, we will need to go back and confirm some things. Our thoughts and prayers are with Ricky and the entire Pearsall family, the team said Saturday night. San Francisco Mayor London Breed at the news conference called the attempted robbery a terrible, rare incident in the Union Square. I look forward to seeing him recover and back on the field, she said. Scott earlier said he was extremely shocked and saddened by the shooting. This kind of violence has no place in our city and will never be tolerated. My heart goes out to Mr. Pearsall and his family, and I wish him a speedy recovery, he said in the post. Thankfully, our hand-working officers, no, not hand, I'm sorry, you guys, it's hard. Thankfully, our hard-working officers made a swift arrest in the case, and we will do everything within our power to ensure justice is served. The rookie wide receiver was drafted by the 49ers with the 31st pick, the first round of 2024 NFL draft earlier this year. Before being drafted, the 23-year-old played 3 years at Arizona State and 2 at Florida during his career, he finished his last season at amassing 965 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns in his final season with Florida Gators, okay? Florida Gators, y'all. Pearsall teammate Debo Samuel took to social media following the incident. He's good, he said. Thank God. All right, well, let me see what else they got on here. Pearsall had been recovering from partial dislocation of his shoulder. Jesus, so he was already injured before this happened. An injury stemming from his time in college. According to the NFL, he practiced with the team 1 week before being sidelined and held out of the 49ers 3 preseason games. The rookie wide receiver returned to practice this past week. The 49ers are set to play their first game of the season against the New York Jets on September 9th. Wow, he may not be able to play, y'all. At least I pray that he gets, he recovers very soon. We have an extra officer in Union Square. We have extra officers in the Union Square quite some time, and we will continue to do that. Scott said, Saturday night, usually when things like this happen, people get anxiety, and we want to make sure that the public knows we're there for them. So we will increase the deployment. So that means they're going to have more cops out there for them. That's awesome. I'm glad about that. Thank God for that. Let me see. Officers secure the area, investigate shooting. Okay, so this is what they're showing. That there's officers out and investigating what happened to him. But yesterday I read to you guys about it being the Rolex, that there was a situation. Now, so this is Ricky right here. That's Ricky. Okay. And I don't know if that's 100%, so I'm going to say allegedly it was a Rolex that he was trying to get from him before the shooting happened. Anyway, so thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it, but that's all I have for now, and I will update you guys on anything else that goes on from today on. All right, I appreciate y'all being in here. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.